We're breaking down Manchester United's 2-2 draw against the Scouse Bastards at Anfield. United with an impressive performance under Ruben Amorim. United, solid display. Solid display from United against the Scouse Bastards, showing, I think, the best performance we've had under the manager. Probably the best opponent we've played. League leaders at the moment in the Scousers. They came out. They had a bunch of early chances, but I think United weathered the storm and showed resiliency off the ball and some prowess countering as well, especially at the end of the second half, and then came out swinging. Came out swinging, especially in the second half, to get that leading goal. They got a goal back. Then they got a pen. Amad gets the late tie. We had a chance to win it with Maguire, but there were a bunch of big performances today. Promising stuff. We would have loved to get the goal. Felt a little hard done based on their handball penalty. It was probably a penalty in the current rules of the law, but there was a handball shot 5 minutes early in the game for United. But either way, promising performance from United, a big point earned from United, and we move on. 2025, first game of the year, off to a decent start. How we feeling? How we doing?
Have we hit the bottom under Ruben Amorim? I feel like we saw great signs of a team. We saw fight from this team of bluffers that have been laying down. Finally, cold, wet, snowy away at the shit box, a.k.a. Anfield, and they pulled one out. I mean, it started out pretty good. Ruben did make some tactical adjustments with the 5-4-1 without the ball. I feel like we kind of handled Liverpool a lot better. They struggled to cope. Maybe they weren't the best on the day, but it took a lucky penalty for them to even draw us. And we're Manchester United. That's what it's about. It's like it's a cold, wet night. Nobody wants to be there. We're going to punch them in the mouth. They're going to punch us in the mouth, and we didn't give up. And that's what this is all about. Ruben Amorim rallying the troops, finally got some training sessions in. We figured it out. This is apparently the best team in the Prem. Didn't look like it. And you could see where this team can go. Give this manager a few more training sessions. We have a huge week before we play Arsenal. This should galvanize the locker room, give the players some confidence. So I'm absolutely buzzing about this one. Magoo for the winner from Xerxes would have been like, chef's kiss.
Cherry on top.
To win at Anfield, which we haven't done until since LVG, which is incredible. But overall, it's been a miserable time to be a Manchester United fan. And this game was a great one. And to see backbone and fight for this badge, players not giving up, not laying down, especially going behind on a harsh done penalty. That's huge to be a United fan. I was proud to wear the shirt today.
Yeah, and Ruben Amorim must be encouraged by what he's seeing from the lads, the players showing fight, like you said, players who I think are making a name for himself under this manager. Amad Diallo continues to shine. Ugarte looks indispensable, just an absolute fit in the system, and he was a master today. He was absolutely chewing things up in the middle of the park. Maguire was terrific in the middle of that back three. Martinez had a good game today. He had that great goal to give us the go-ahead. And like you said, this season is a foregone conclusion in the sense that it's a mess. It's all about keeping up and staying up and making sure that we give the manager as much time as possible and also the opportunity to shelve bodies in the summer. But it's a building process, and today we saw a lot of good things from this team, from the lads, from the manager as well, his ability to affect the game. The substitutes in the second half, they all had an impact. Yoro was excellent, Garnacho was excellent, and even Xerxes, like you said, almost had that assist to win the game. So it's encouraging, and it shows that I think United, with a little rest, a little time, this manager has the ability to get these lads going, at least in a way where we can get something out of this season and not be in a relegation battle like we thought we might be. We still might be, we still are, depending on how you look at the table. But encouraging stuff. We still need to find some goals. I still feel like we shelved that. That first goal was cheap. We gave it up early and easily, and DeLitt, who had such a good first half and such a not so good second half. But either way, encouraging signs for United. A big point at Anfield, and I don't know what they would have done without a favorable referee today, because he certainly gave them some favors.
We don't need to get into Michael Oliver just yet, but
we will.
Happy New Year, sir. And quick PSA for the podcast. If you like the American Red Devils, we are for fans, by fans. And you got to check out our YouTube channel. We just got off the ground this summer, and we have over 1,000 subscribers, but we're growing it. So please like, subscribe, hack the algorithm, help us get found by more Muppets like yourself, because we're getting the best Manchester United for fan, by fan content out there. And it's really important to support fans, because this club is in the dumpster, sir. We're in the mud, and we're climbing out of it inch by inch, day by day. And we want to make sure we get the word out, because when we are good, we're going to be enjoying it, having a lot of fun. If you want to go the extra mile, support us on Patreon, patreon.com/America Red Devils. We have over 100 Patreon members. We do a behind-the-scenes episode every single month. Please check out our Patreon page. Also, check out our store. We have some great merch. Get your scarves, shirts, hats. Trucker hats are a good look. Beanies as well in the winter, sir. We got stickers. We got blankets. We got pins. Anything you buy supports the Muppet Take. Please check it out. Also, check out our website, AmericanDevils.com. Great blog content. We have an awesome post by JR, an open letter to Manchester United. It's been a crazy time to be a fan. Support this club. Never say die, sir. Tell about iTunes reviews.
iTunes reviews and 5-star reviews of the American Devils podcast. Wherever you listen, it's a great way to support the pod. It helps us get found organically by other top Muppets like yourself. And we're still giving away free merch. All you have to do is write a 5-star review wherever you listen and send a screenshot of that review to AmericanDevils@gmail.com with your mailing address. And I'll personally pick, pack, and ship some free ARD gear. Send it right to your door anywhere in the world. We've got great reviews coming in, sir. 5-star reviews of the American Devils podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe, like you said. Don't forget to check out the Patreon. It goes a long way. It helps us get found organically, sir. It's just you and me. Just you and me. And it's been a tough year. It's been a tough season. It's been a tough decade, let's be honest. But you know what? 2025, first game of the calendar year. And I think Ruben Amorim, I think it was the best performance that his lads have put out since he's been manager, only for less than 2 months, which is absolutely incredible.
Isn't it as
either
well?
way,
It's going to be given as a...
it's a great, great game from United. You would have loved to see us get a point, but for a team that's in the mud in 14th place, and for a team that seems to be on a foregone conclusion of winning the league in Liverpool, it was great to take it to them and have a chance to win it and stifle that offense that, got a big benefit from a big penalty in the second half as well. So let's get into that game, sir. Let's get into Manchester United 2, Liverpool 2 at Anfield.
Alrighty, let's jump into that 11. We had Onana in net, Martinez, Magoo, Delit, center back line of 3. We had Delo left wing back, Mainu, Ugarte midfield, Mazraoui on the right wing, Bruno, Diallo, and Hojlund up top. Sir, how do you feel about this 11?
In many ways, this is probably the strongest 11 that Ruben Amorim has at his disposal, given the way he wants to play. Always concerns with Hojlund matching up with 2 top center backs in Liverpool's 2 in Van Dijk and Konate. So that was concerning, but happy to see Mainu and Ugarte. I thought we needed the extra muscle in the midfield. And, one thing that concerned me is I would have liked to see like a Mazraoui in that back 3 because it offers a little bit more mobility than Maguire and Delit, who sometimes get a little flat-footed. But I think you understand exactly what he's trying to do. It makes sense. And it's not a bad 11 considering where we're at. It's probably one of the stronger 11s and something we're going to see a lot going forward. What were your thoughts when you saw this starting 11, sir, coming out at Anfield today?
I need Bruno in the midfield too. We did see that change in the second half, and we looked way better. His control and just his vision for getting us up the pitch. It's just hard to get him on the ball. So again, this 11 is just like, hey, don't get embarrassed. That was like ultimately the game plan. So from this point, it was just nervy, and we started pretty good. United were put under pressure in the early part of the half, but we were able to weather the storm in those opening 20 minutes. There was a 14th minute nice save from Onana at his near post, and that was followed up with a really good save and a really good chance for McAllister over the top. But Onana, trying to pull a De Gea impression with a really good foot save that we saw so often from the Spaniard, but huge good goalkeeping in those early 20 minutes. And then United kind of I think we've seen this sometimes under this manager. Sometimes we're better than we think we are, and we have to play with a little confidence. And I think we started growing to the half. We were winning 50-50 challenges in the midfield. And once we weathered their storm, it was a lot of them passing the ball around and United waiting for their moments. Yeah, we really weren't creating much. I think really the theme of this match shows, okay, we can get organized. We can play with the best. Ugarte, hell of a game as well in midfield, but we didn't have teeth in attack. And then the big opportunity in the 42nd minute, Hojlund one-on-one with the keeper, shoots it right at him. I think he took it off the left foot, had to be the right curling in far post. But again, he hasn't had a lot of chances, so I can't blame him for missing this one. But you'd like to see a striker kind of do a little more. Hojlund fighting center backs. That theme of him just kind of tying up with people versus trying to find the pockets of space or the runs, I think continues. But this attacking mojo needs to get going for Manchester United to have a better second half of the season.
100%. And Hojlund's got to be doing better. He's definitely having a second year or a sophomore slump in terms of his step down in the EPL. Got to be doing more with the chances. Isn't getting enough, but like you said, he's fighting battles. I thought he played well at times, but this was a big chance, and he didn't get the ball out from his feet quick enough. But in halftime, going into halftime, sir, I think the big thing I was thinking was like, just don't concede early. That was my concern from we've seen from this team. Even when we do put together a good 45 minutes, we sometimes crumble as soon as we come back out.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts? That was my big heartburn moment coming in. Was that this team was going to just make a meal of it.
Don't concede early. And United actually score early in the 52nd minute.
Second half from Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes. Lisandro Martinez has done it for Manchester United.
Yeah, buddy.
And that is a bit of a wow moment, because Manchester United have been so poor this season and Liverpool so good this season, and yet all of that counts for nothing. Liverpool.
Well, we needed this. I mean, what a goal. I mean, what a shot. This is like Ryan Giggs against Arsenal in the FA Cup semifinal. It was like, what a blast by Martinez. He's also struggled, so great to see him get the goal. The Selly, love it.
No, he has so much to do at a tight angle. It's an unbelievable finish. Like any striker worth his salt would be proud. And he does incredibly well to get his goal. Like you said, he's had a tough season. This season, it's like some games he's outrageous. Today, he was outrageous. Huge part of our performance. Same against City. In some games, he's been really, really poor. So good on him getting the goal. Also, I thought Bruno was terrific, both up in the front three when he was pushed up that way when the subs came on, but also in the first half as well. I just think he looked like a player who could benefit from a week off because he's played so much. Obviously missed the game with the suspension, but he was terrific all over the pitch today. Once again, one of Bruno's best performances as captain of Manchester United. Now, what do you say to the lads, sir? You score early. You got a great big goal. First time we've scored, in 6 years at Anfield? Don't concede quickly after we go ahead, right? Isn't that what they tell the lads?
Yeah, that would be the goal, but unfortunately we wouldn't be paying attention because Gapco would cook the back line of Manchester United, and it was brutal.
Bird of him to lit.
Take long, did it? The challenge thrown down and rapidly accepted by those who would be kings.
By Manchester United from the set piece, then McAllister. Bit of real quality, composure into the path of Gakpo, and then that check back where he takes De Ligt out, puts him on his backside as he cuts back in.
I mean, brutal. Look, Mazraoui and Ugarte kind of cut out. They were split by the pass. De Ligt just is still sliding at this point. Gapco's not that good, so I feel like this was more of like we were disorganized as Liverpool recycled the ball in, but you don't want to concede that early after giving one up.
No, there were positive things today. There were negative things today. Our ability to kind of weather storms at moments was exciting, but falling apart at the same time right after scoring such a good goal, which is a hard thing to do at Anfield. And it has to be said, like you said, Maz and Ugarte kind of put De Ligt in a position where he has to make a stop, but he also does an all-or-nothing tackle, which we've seen a few times. He was so good in the first half, not so good in the second because he had another role to play in Liverpool getting their second goal, but not what you want to see from United, going down and conceding so quickly after scoring.
And then we got to be talking about handballs. This is like really fun, as any
That's what we want to be talking about.
Football fan knows. So obviously, the definition has changed, but more importantly, how it's called has changed, and it's so inconsistent. Like I think last year, Michael Oliver, there was just an outrageous handball against Tottenham where the defender actually went like this, blocked Garnacho's shot, did not call it handball. Last year, it was much worse. Now they're calling this one against De Ligt handball. Van Dijk had one right in the 63rd minute, and we didn't get any look at it from VAR. But we also know that VAR is just a bunch of Muppets, and they're biased. But this De Ligt one, it's tough in the 70th minute. Liverpool were given a penalty. What are your thoughts here on the handball? Usually you don't like the this position of the hand is not ideal. Like, anytime you're doing that and it's touching your hand, it's usually handball. Like, I know it sucks as a United fan. He was really close, but when you're a defender, your hand should not be in an L like this, touching the ball, sir.
You shouldn't be defending in the box with your hand above your head, usually ever, unless you can't control it, can't force it. Unlucky for him to lip, but he puts himself in a position where you're going to get into trouble. I mean, it's a pen, but it's the consistency of calling penalties in the league has been our complaint for a long time. It's like there's no consistency with VAR because the VAR officials switch every week. So it makes no sense. And at the same time, they didn't even look at it from the broadcast, didn't even look at the 63rd minute penalty shout or handball shout a little bit earlier. So my complaint is it affected the game, and also like the ref had a meal today. He was poor. He was very, very poor. We got to yell every time we made any kind of tactical or close to tactical foul, and they went unpunished. And the most egregious one was like the Mo Salah tackle by Maguire at the edge of the box, like perfect tackle. He got a yellow card and a free kick.
And Oliver had it, by the way,
in a very dangerous position.
The way you judge that is, did Oliver have an angle at it? He was right there.
He was right there. He was on top of it.
And this is after the pen. So it's like
after the pen.
For me, it's like Michael Oliver is paid by Abu Dhabi. I mean, he's a City guy. He calls it against United. Like, I literally saw him that he was roughing the game. It's like, are you joking? But regardless, let's hear the penalty here.
Is well above his head. Let's have a look at the replay. I mean, that...
You can't have it. Can't be doing that.
He's asking for trouble.
Of the ball as it hits his hand. He's
he had a bad second
close,
half.
but his arm's up. It's also...
But they get every penalty. I mean, to be fair, how many advantageous penalties
this
they got
game.
in the season? Let's see it.
Salah ensures they lead.
I thought Onana was going to save it. I thought he was going to save it. I mean, look, Salah's like automatic from the spot. Brutal. Just absolutely brutal for Manchester United. But you know what? It wasn't over, even though we thought it was. I thought Liverpool might go on to get a 73rd minute Garnacho for Mainu. 74th, that was the tackle that you mentioned, where it was a great tackle, and he gets a yellow card for that one. But that's not what we're here for, sir. We're here for the 80th minute with Amad, who seems to be saving this club single-handedly. So let's just enjoy it.
He's a big-time player, so let's see it.
And there's a chance and a goal. Manchester United have done it again. Amad. Well, they've struggled for goals all season long, but they've managed 2 at Anfield. And it's Yoro who won that astonishing FA Cup quarter-final against Liverpool last season, who has come up with the equaliser.
Canate with the initial clear.
Come on, United. Come on. This is what we were dying for. This club has been killing us. And then Liverpool, the ref, throwing mud on us. And it's like, put him to the sword. Hate the Scouse bastards, sir. We don't like him here. They might get 20 this season, but we got this one. We got Amad, and he's done him dirty twice. He did it last year in the FA Cup semifinals. Took that trophy from him. They probably won. Klopp would have won that one. That was a big one.
They would have.
They're going on to win 20 here, sir. And I'm sick and tired of everybody getting one on Manchester United. Thank God we got some fight in this team. We should have won this game, honestly. Everybody, it's Manchester United versus the world at the moment. And man, this goal matters, sir. Oh my God.
This goal mattered, and United deserved the goal, and it was great to see from where it came. So good on Garnacho being a threat on the left wing. He's finding his feet on this new manager. He's been reprimanded a little bit, but he came on and he made a real impact in this game, doing what he does best, beating men out wide and putting a good ball in. Even Hojlund accidentally gets it right, makes a run, drags the defender off, and Amad just finishes it well. He's a big-time player. We've talked about how much this team needs to be turned over, how much work is needed from a squad development perspective, but there are some gems in it. He is one of them. He is a real deal, big-time player, and we're lucky to have him, sir. Sign the fucking thing. Bunch of big-time. Ugarte,
Can't let him go.
No, he is.
Cannot
There's a
let this
couple
kid go.
stones you're going to build this team around. He's one. Kobe's one. Ugarte, Garnacho, Lenny Yoro's one, and it might take a while, but we have some real gems in the squad, and good on him, sir. I'll tell you what. He earned it. He earned his moment. And he's taking his moment.
And it got nervy after that. We had Yoro on for Delit. We had Xerxes on for Hojlund. Lenny with an insane goal-saving tackle in the 90th minute. 91st, great hands by Onana, saving a flick-on header.
Ooh.
And then 97th, Maguire with a chance to win it. blasted over the bar. Xerxes in the right position. I just feel like Xerxes to Magoo for the winner. It's like, that's what dreams are made of. Unfortunately, you can't get greedy. 2-2, I think, is a fair result. I think Liverpool fans feeling relief. United fans, there's a little taste. We probably should have gone for the win, but it was nervy there in stoppage time, back and forth. Like, Salah had a few opportunities. Like, I just kind of thought, I end this one as a draw. We'll take it. We need something. If we lost in stoppage time, that might be like a little too much for us to handle at the moment.
No, because
mentally we needed just like some positivity here.
Because sometimes the performance is more important than the result. And today, the result's important, but the performance was really strong, considering how bad this team has been, how much we weren't given a chance, and we're playing, the team that's at the top of the league and a place that's really, really challenging to play. So United came out, I think, did some important things really well. The manager managed the game well. He used the subs well. And I think players stepped up in big moments. Ugarte, Amad, Bruno, Martinez had a really good game. Maguire had a really good game. Garnacho came on. He was effective. Yoro, look at that tackle, dude. The fact that he could take that tackle at the 90th minute as a 19-year-old who hasn't played that much, coming off a big injury in the summer, that is a $55 million tackle. That's like why you pay the money we did, because you need to have big cojones to make that tackle, and it was a great one, and I'm surprised Oliver didn't give him a penalty for just us making a nice tackle. Don't you know that's illegal at Anfield?
We had 47% of the ball at the shit box to their 53%. Shots 13 to their 19. 4 on target for United to their 6. We didn't lay down. A year ago with Ten Hag, we packed it in and got a draw 0-0. And we basically had nothing doing. Maybe one shot on target. It was like 30% of the ball. We're coming in playing Amorim ball, trying to take it to Liverpool. Arguably should have won the game. And they had a lucky penalty, ultimately, that bailed them out. And they're number one, best team in the Prem. Are you sure about that? Because at the end of the day, United should be proud to be able to play this style of football and take it to them with some serious cojones. And I love this manager for doing that, because every other manager would pack it in, including LVG. Everyone's packing in at Liverpool. And Amorim came out swinging. These lads came out swinging. They believed. Nobody did. Back against the wall. And a draw that probably should have been a win, sir, but we live to fight another day, and we got the Gunners. The Gunners are next. Those Bluffers are next. Arteta's men. Boo-hoo-hoo, Arteta on the touchline. That's what I want to see.
Because you know what? Arne Slot and his men, they haven't won much, but they have won some stuff. They won more than that Arsenal squad that we're going to play on the weekend. I can't wait. They've gotten some good calls against us. They're a solid team, but they're not as good as they think they are, and I think this team, with another week's rest, with some more training sessions with this manager, and he's starting to figure out who are the dogs and how to get the most out of them. It's very, very encouraging. It's very, very encouraging, because he's only been here less than 2 months. The team is a mess, and he's already finding out, like, how do I take all these square pegs and make the most of it? And he's putting something together.
2025 is our year, sir. We're back, baby.
Stop it.
Muppet takes. We're back, baby. Let's go. 2025. Let's go.
Place. Let's hear
Draw
from
against
the
the Scouse Masters. Let's go. 2025.
Well, Ruben, not a win, and maybe not perfect, but was that a step in the right direction, and maybe a big step in the right direction?
Yeah, yes, because the expectations were so much different than what we saw during the game. But I think I get more mad because of the other games. So it's even harder to understand some things,
Bruno just said the same thing. If you can play like that, what's been happening before?
Yeah, because this is not about the system. It's not about the technique. It's about something else. And it's hard to understand even for the coach. So it was a point. I think they deserve the point, but it's just 1 point. And I think we should get mad and disappointed more than the other day against Newcastle, Bournemouth, Nottingham. More than that days, today, we need to be really disappointed.
Have you just said that to your players?
No, because I have to calm down and to say the right things. We are in a difficult moment, but it's hard to don't get really mad.
So there was a moment, it was around about half an hour into the game, where Maguire crashed into a tackle, De Ligt crashed into a tackle. Is it things like that have been missing that are different today?
Yeah, in the way we recover position. So if we play against Liverpool every day, we will do that. So we have to do it against any opponent, and to understand that we need to fight really bad to get out of this situation. And then the way we play in certain moments of the game, we already proven in the other games that we can do it. But the way we were really competitive, that is the crucial thing going forward.
He said it right. I mean, here's the thing about this man. Is he's mad because he's like, these bluffers don't turn up for the small games, but they turn up for the big games.
That's exactly what
but
he's
that's
saying.
all that we've been seeing about this team. We're so inconsistent. We can't turn up for the small games. We've seen this bullshit for so many years. And he's literally just like, it pisses him off that we can find the level Liverpool away. But when it comes to the Nottingham Forest of the world, or even like the Newcastles that we just couldn't be bothered. So what is going on at this team? He also gave another interview before this match, gave a big expose, and he said the thing is like everybody's too comfortable here.
Yeah.
And he's like almost like I'm too hard on everybody because everyone's comfortable. And you got that vibe. Like Garnacho has that like, oh shit, like this guy's really like this hard vibe. Like that's going around, and he's gonna figure out who's gonna be in line, who's coming in line, who's with me. If you want to be on this train, choo choo. You don't get the fuck off because this is Amorim's show, and I love it.
Where my dog's at. That's what he's looking for. He wants to know where his soldiers are because he says it. He has a way, your boy, CR7, called him the poet. There's something there. He has a way of just like saying something that just like it's more than the words that he puts down on paper, if you get what I'm saying at. Like, he's like, it's not the tactics. It's not the technique. At the end of the day, he's talking about heart and he's talking about temperament and what this team lacks. And this team has lacked backbone. And we're not consistent. We're not resilient. We don't stand up in the moments. We don't stand up in the tough moments. And I thought today we showed some toughness, especially like they got a really, lucky. I don't know if call lucky, but they got a big penalty call. And United fought back and had some good chances and did enough to maybe win the game. So it's encouraging, and the manager needs time. And I think he's starting to figure out like who his players are. But he's gonna also, I know how good you guys can be. So you don't show up against Southampton, you lay an egg. That is fucking unacceptable. Because right now, like if you could take it to Liverpool, then you got to be handling the teams in the bottom half of the league.
No, that's exactly right. And then looking at the advanced stats here for a second, XG, it's very kind of Liverpool, 2.71 to United's 1.48. But you have to remember there's a penalty in there, which is basically 0.9. You got to normalize that. And short of the McAllister chance, look at that first half. Liverpool didn't really create a lot. And then in the second half, they didn't either, aside from that big header opportunity, which you can see there. So it was a very muted Liverpool attack. So what we did right was sort of making the adjustments in the formation, which the manager did. But the attack has got nothing doing it. And I hate to try to make a negative point today, but Hojlund is he's stuck to these center backs of the opposite team. Bruno had the ball, I think, in the 70th minute, and he should have been making a run, and he's just bottoming up the center. I'm like, what is this guy? It's like we're not on the same page. Like, this isn't hold up Stoke City. This is like Manchester United. We need you running in the channels. We need everybody switched on. We're just better today, right? Crosses. There was a good cross from Delo. Garnacho crossed it as well. I feel like Hojlund did a good job on that goal that Amad scored because he took the center backs with him. But there is this sort of, we just don't have teeth in attack and we need something. But the problem is you take Hojlund off, you put on Xerxes. Is that really the solution? We're dying for somebody. We need this Osimhen rumor is we need somebody like that in January because we got to get this attack going. And Hojlund needs time, Xerxes needs times, but we need goals now. So let's go. I like these guys, but we need goals now. So let's get somebody.
No, it's 100% true, and it's not really. It's I think there's a role for both Xerxes and Hojlund, but they just can't be the number one guy, and they aren't close to being the number one guy. But a Victor Osimhen, a player of that caliber, even a player like a Solanke, who we could have gotten, we need that. We need someone who has a nose for goal that will take some of the burden off these youngsters who, like you said, it's we just don't have the muscle memory. Liverpool, when they go on the break, everybody knows where to run, where to be. They know how to make those off-ball runs, and we look like we have no fucking clue. We get the ball half the pitch, and people are falling into each other. They're not running. They're going to the same place on the pitch. And I think a little of this is new tactics, but we have to just relearn how to play football, which sounds very basic, but fundamentals. We got to get back to fundamentals.
Yeah, and speaking of fundamentals, one important tactical point is just showing you what the midfield setup was against Newcastle, where it was wide open, where we had the 5 at the back in one line, we had the 2 and then the 3 in attack, and that really kind of led to tons of open space. And remember, we did play Casemiro and Eriksen solo 2v3 in the midfield. So Amorim, this is when we're judging the manager. He decided, hey, we're going to go 5-4-1 without the ball against Liverpool. Much more support. Required Amad and Bruno to do a little more work, but I did feel like things were much more in control and much more in Manchester United's favor. So maybe we should be thinking this way when we're going away to the Emirates. So I just like the nice adjustment from the manager. We saw the benefit. We went toe-to-toe with Liverpool. Have to call it out that Amorim not only is the poet, but he's making the adjustments here, and you can see the idea that he's got for this team.
He's a real tactician. Like, you see him making changes in-game. The subs almost always have a real effect. They did today once again. And like you said, he's learning. And I think that Kobe Ugarte is the midfield and the holding two. I know Bruno is very effective there, but what he was doing today, Bruno was like one of the best games I've seen from Bruno probably since the FA Cup final, where he was all over the pitch. He was so good off the ball. He was making those little dinking passes where he just opens. But even when like players are not making the right run, so it's encouraging. We just need to be more consistent. And this game next weekend against Arsenal is going to be a big one.
Jumping into fan questions here at Armitage Daniel, just following up on my comment from last week. How simple is it to score from a cross? Technically, Garnacho pulled it back to Amad to score, but the ethos is the same. Great to see the idea starting to solidify and a first 11 to be found. Great pod. Thanks for the content.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, Daniel, for listening. And great point. We're starting to see the idea for Ruben Amorim.
You are. I mean, we were saying this 3 games in. You can already see what he's trying to do. Makes total sense. That there's a really dangerous opportunity that I don't think we mentioned in that first half, where I think the low put up actually a pretty good ball in. Ahmad was at the far post, but I think he overran his cross. It's like we're actually making crosses into somebody there, and a lot of the times it's what you just talked about, like Hojlund not knowing the run to make. He doesn't always make the appropriate back post run where like we put a lot of dangerous balls in. So I think we got to get our football IQ up. That's where it's at.
And chem, really, like front three, like settling on 11, you could develop chemistry, right? Because if Ma's always going to play out on the right side, then he knows that, and then DeLitt knows that. Like, I just feel like you just need a settled 11 could help develop the chemistry. At D_Cole18, team put in a shift, and a draw is not a bad result against the Scousers. The question is, with this squad, never the big games. They're always up for it, but they can't kill off the lesser teams. This has been the case since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I mean, I think hearing Amorim finally realize, like, these bluffers show up at Anfield, but they can't be bothered. It's like he's learning, and he's saying it, which is crazy. The fact he's coming out and actually voicing this. He's like, if we swap Marcus for Osimhen in Jan and buy a decent left wing back, is that a successful window? I would say that is gangbusters wheeling and dealing here on the pod. If we get Osimhen and Mendes, like, that is wheeling and dealing.
Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
On the pod.
If we got Osimhen in general.
Osimhen is wheeling and dealing.
That's wheeling and dealing, bro. That's wheeling and dealing. We're like back.
And a left back? Give me a break.
No, it's not going to happen. So just like, you're going to get, who's that guy we got? Who's the Dutch guy that we got that was just absolutely terrible?
Oh, the guy, Wout.
Wout, like horse. You're going to get Wout and Reguilon. Reguilon's coming back.
Please like and subscribe to the pod so we can get monetized on YouTube, and then we can afford to fly out Wout to run in a race against me.
That's going to happen.
That's really why we need you to like and subscribe,
some point,
so that we can monetize, so we can do things like that.
That's coming. I haven't seen any credible journal talk about the Osimhen swap, but that would be such a great. I mean, that would be exactly what we need. Marcus needs a fresh start. We need an out number 9, which Marcus isn't even on form. He's a left winger, so yeah, I think that's like
he's not even on the bench.
He's been frozen out. He's frozen out because Andy Mitten's like he's partying too much.
At Gordon, Frederick, Maguire, and Bruno were class today. Kobe has to play. His ability to turn on the ball is unmatched in this team and so necessary. We need this team to show up every single match day. It was great. I mean, like, this is what you want as a fan. We might not have the best season, but we're not, like, giving up. And United show a ton of fight today. At Brian Vargas 23, did you guys see Xerxes leaving on loan or a permanent transfer this window? Was that the best performance of the season?
I think it was the best performance of the season.
Away at Anfield, draw where you feel bad you should have won. That's as good as it gets for a 14th place Manchester United.
For a terrible season. And the City one was better, but like I'd argue we nicked that even more so than today. Obviously, we won that one. We drew today. I think Xerxes, we're so need of goals. Like, I know he's had a tough go, but like I think we just need to make him work and then get in another body. I don't think we want to be losing bodies. I think we need him, and I still think there's something there. He's big, and that gives me some encouragement, is that size in the Premier League helps.
I think it's unfair to Xerxes because he probably should be number 3, but he's like
1.5.
fighting for 1. And, we just don't have the time. So if dishing him could get us money to then make a more, I would say, a bolder move at that position that we desperately need, then I could see it happening. But January just kind of like, hey, not a lot of clubs deal.
Right.
No one wants to wheel and deal, so that it's usually based on what other clubs want, not what United wants. And we need or buy to sell in Jan, and that's even harder. At JDW 300, best performance under Amorim. I don't care about the result or the pen. I saw a team come together and just play good football. Solid ball. Biggest thing I saw was no one saw how slow Konate was in the last 15 minutes. Garnacho or Bruno running at him would have been lethal. Great match. Yeah, we made Liverpool tired. I think what we talked about Amorim coming in, the fitness would build over time. Hopefully, the breaks are going to help United. We're going to be fresher, and the fitness is going to build with those rest periods that we have. These 2 week, only 3 games in 2 weeks is a huge win for United at the moment.
I mean, I don't remember the last time we had 1 game in a week. What was that, months ago? So the fact that we played Newcastle like a week ago, almost to the day, and now we're playing our next game literally a week, that's going to help the team. We haven't had enough training sessions, and also these players are just playing too many games by nature of global football, running these players into the ground. So I think I'm excited and encouraged for the Arsenal game. It's going to be a tough match. They always get good calls as well. But I feel like they are due for a little humble pie. Aren't they due for a little humble pie? Come on.
We're due for some just like a team with a backbone. And I feel like Ruben's saying the right things, which is what these players need to hear. He's saying the hard truths out loud, and we're going to shine the light on him, and these bluffers are going to leave, and maybe Luke Shaw TikToking his way out of Old Trafford, and Rashford hanging out, going to Belfast FC. Maybe these are the guys that are the problem at Manchester United, and guess what? They're going to be gone because Amorim's the one burning it down. He's going to rebuild it, and I can't wait to see what this team looks like under him. I've never been more excited about backing a manager like I have with Ruben Amorim. But look, that's it. That's the podcast. It's a draw away at Anfield. We'll take it coming in. None of us called the draw on the match prediction. So please like and subscribe to YouTube. If you listen on the podcast, check us out on YouTube. We need your support. Trying to get to 2,000 subs. Please smash the subscribe button. Only 30% of people that actually watch our videos subscribe. So comment, let us know what you think of the performance below. Also, check out our store. We got the trucker hats. We have shirts, hoodies, everything you need. AmericaDevils.store. AmericaDevils.store. Support the pod. Patreon.com/AmericaDevils. Sir, give us our top 10 cities last 7 days. Pulling it up for you here live on the pod.
That's what we do. We always keep it live. We appreciate all the American Red Devils listening week in, week out. We couldn't do it without you. 2025, off to a flyer. Could have been 3 points. Could have used 3 points, but at least the lads fought for the badge today. That was exciting to see. Show me something, as they said, not too far back when we had another time of us being in the dumps. Let's do top 10 cities. Number 1, how you doing? Dublin, Ireland, Houston, Texas, Melbourne, Australia, Los Angeles, California, Brooklyn, New York, New York, Manchester, England, Chicago, Illinois, Toronto, Canada, and last but not least, Charlotte, North Carolina. I appreciate all the American Devils listening week in, week out. Couldn't do without you. Big games coming thick and fast. We appreciate you checking us out every week. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube. Don't forget to join our Patreon. Check out the store. Sorry, United Calypso, Fulham away end. We're going to be there soon enough at the end of the month.